Hey everybody, Jeff Joyner here. And if you clicked on this video, you probably saw the title. It's about the most embarrassing word search ever created. And you may be wondering, who creates embarrassing word searches? Well, that person is me. So I'll tell you the story. But first, make sure if you're not subscribed to this channel that you go ahead and subscribe right now. Hit the notification bell so when I come out with new videos, you can see them. This video is about my first couple of crushes and some embarrassing crushing moments that resulted. You know, the first crush I ever remember having on a girl was back when I was in third grade. Had a crush on a girl named Lisa, and I thought she was awesome, but I was afraid to tell her. I used to be really shy. That may come as a surprise to you, but I was a shy kid. And didn't say anything to her all year. I used to just kind of look at her in class, you know, and kind of follow her around a recess. But then came February and Valentine's Day. And, you know, back in those days, I don't know if they still do this, but everybody bought a Valentine for everybody. And my mom got us these, you know, cheap little Kmart Valentines in these little envelopes. And I sorted through them and found the one that I thought was the coolest that I was going to give to Lisa. And it had a lion on there. I still remember this. And it said something like, I'd be lying if I didn't say that you were awesome or something. And I'm like, I kind of want to tell her, you know, that I like her, but I'm afraid. What if she doesn't like me? I don't want to take the chance. And so I basically chickened out. And what I did is I took a pencil, and on the lion's tail that had these stripes, I wrote with a pencil so light that you couldn't even hardly see it. I like you. And then I was like, and I kind of, I mean, it was so fun. Hold up to the light. Barely. There's no way she's going to see it. So we give out all the Valentines. She doesn't say anything. She obviously didn't see it. She may not have even opened the envelope. Fast forward March, April, May, June, on the last day of school, in his last day of third grade, we're at recess, and she comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, I saw what you wrote on my Valentine." I was mortified. She didn't say she liked it. She didn't say she didn't like it. She just said she saw it. So what do you think I did? I denied it. Such a loser. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She said, you wrote that you liked me on my Valentine. It must have came like that. It came like that from Kmart. And I took off, and I never talked to her again. Thankfully, my parents moved that summer. We moved from Bay City, Michigan down to Detroit, hours away. And so to this day, I don't know if Lisa liked it or didn't like it. I'm assuming she didn't like it or she wouldn't have waited months to say something. But my next crush was in fourth grade, going to a new school, and I had a crush on a girl named Susan Jordan. And of course, I didn't say anything. I was, you know, terrified. I didn't even flirt with her. I just had a crush on her. I probably didn't even ever talk to her. And but she was in my class. And one day there was an assignment. Our teacher, we were doing a segment on ocean mammals. And our teacher said, hey, we're going to do an assignment where you have to create some things around the topic of ocean mammals. And she had like this list. And you had to pick 2 or 3 things off this list. You could write a report. You could draw a poster. You could make a mobile. You could make a crossword puzzle. You could make a word search. And so I did 2 things. I made a poster of a dolphin, like a porpoise, that I drew and actually kind of shaded in with colored pencils. I was kind of proud of it, actually, how it turned out. And, you know, this is back before the internet, so all I'm going on is like a little picture in the encyclopedia for reference. And but I also decided, hey, I'll do a word search. And our teacher had these giant sheets of paper. They were probably, you know, 4 feet by 4 feet, and they were graph paper. And she said, if you want to make a word search, take one of these sheets home and make a word search. And so I did. So I rolled one of these up, took it home, and filled it in with the names of a bunch of marine mammals, right? Going down and across. And if you've ever made a word search, that's how you start. Is you fill in the words that you want people to search for, and then you just start filling in random letters. So I start filling in, you know, B, C, N, Q, Z, W, R, T, filling in. I'm getting kind of bored. And our teacher had said, if you make a word search, you're going to turn them in. And the teacher, she said, I distinctly remember, she said, I'm going to look at them, check and make sure you did it. No one else is going to ever even see these. And I said, well, okay. And since no one was going to see them, I decided to do, I don't know what got into me, but it's late at night in my room, I'm filling out this word search, and I decided to write in there something about Susan Jordan. And so I wrote in the word search, I love Susan Jordan. But it was jumbled in this giant word search. I mean, it was like 20 by 20 characters. Even if someone did try to solve this word search, they're not going to see that. It's not in the key of the words that you're looking for. And so I keep filling in, Z, W, N, R. And then I decide, you know what? I'm going to do it again. So I got an angle. I wrote, I love Susan Jordan. I'm just killing time. I'm just filling space. No one's going to ever see these. No big deal. Well, you can probably see where this story's going. Go back to school, turn them in, go on with our fourth grade agenda. Who knows? Waiting to get our grades back. A few days later, we roll into school and we walk into the classroom. And up on the wall are the word searches. About 10 of the students in this class had decided to do word searches, and they were all taped to the wall. And I see mine over there. And I'm like, what's going on? And our teacher said, well, because it's a rainy day today, we're going to have indoor recess. And during indoor recess, everyone's going to get to solve the word searches. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I start to sweat. Oh, and I thought about, should I run over there and tear it down? No, word search is private. No, that's just drawing attention to it. No one's going to see it. No one's going to see it. So the first half of the day goes by. I'm just looking, and that's obvious to me. But finally, indoor recess comes, and I'm like, oh. So I go and I start working on the word search like next to mine, so I can kind of keep an eye on what's going on over there. Oh my. And so the kids all split up, and there's 3 or 4 kids that are working on my words. Of course, my name's right on there. And somebody says, hey, I found one. I found a manatee. And they circle manatee. And then, hey, I found a humpback whale. Ooh, that's a long one. The long ones are easy. I found porpoise, and somebody circles porpoise. I found sperm whale, and so they're finding all my clues. And I got the key in there, so they know what you know how word search works. They're looking for certain words. I'm starting to feel pretty confident that this whole thing's going to blow over. And then someone says, "Hey, look! It says Susan." And I look over, and Susan Jordan's on the other side of the room working on another word search, and someone goes, no, look, it says Susan Jordan. What? It says Susan Jordan. And I look over, and Susan Jordan comes over, and she's looking at it, and they go, whose is this? This is Jeff's. Everyone turns and looks at me. Everyone. I go, they're just random letters, guys. That's just a coincidence. What a weird coincidence. This Susan's name is in there. And of course, then someone says, no, it says, look, it says, I love Susan Jordan. And now my love for Susan Jordan has been revealed to the whole room at the same time. Everybody looks at Susan, then everybody looks at me. Susan's looking at me. And this was my chance. If I had any guts at all, I would have said, yes, Susan, I love you. This is my way to tell you. Like some weird 4th grade proposal. But I didn't. I chickened out. I was so afraid. I was such a chicken. I said, I didn't write that. I didn't, well, who wrote it? I go, no, I wrote those letters, but it's just coincidence. It's just a coincidence, you guys. Those letters just randomly spell that. Like, that makes any sense. And they're like, you're suspect, Joiner. I don't know. And then, oh no, someone goes, hey, look, let's see if it says it again. Oh, hey, it says, I love Susan Jordan. In another spot. I'm like, it must be some subconscious thing. And so everyone's laughing. They're making fun of me. I only really cared about one person's opinion. I turn and look, and Susan is just looking at me. And I'm like, eh. And she turns and walks away, and she never said anything about it. I don't think we ever even talked again. After that year, she transferred to another school. I never saw her again. Oh, how embarrassing. Now, I will tell you, Susan and I are now Facebook friends, 40 years later. And so if you ever happen to see this video, Susan, I apologize for that embarrassing moment. But I continue to have moments like this throughout my childhood where I had feelings for someone but was afraid to tell them. And now that I'm an adult, and by the way, Susan and I are both happily married with kids that are now adults, and everything turned out fine for both of us. But I will tell you, people ask me now, I got a lot of my kids are teenagers, and their friends ask me sometimes for relationship advice. And my advice is, hey, if you like somebody, tell them. Don't be all creepy and weird about it. But there's nothing creepy and weird if there's someone you like to say, hey, you know what? I really think you're cool. I'd like to get to know you better. You want to hang out sometime? That would have been a much easier way to let Susan Jordan know that I was into her than my bizarre word search debacle. And so if you like somebody, tell them. It's better than the alternative. It's better than never knowing. It's better than that information coming out in some kind of weird, embarrassing way. That was very, very embarrassing to me, that rainy day during indoor recess. And so, when I years later, when I got into high school, I would tell girls, and I went out with a lot of girls in high school because I was like, hey, I think you're awesome. You want to go out? And the ones who weren't interested said no, and the ones who were said yes. And I ended up having a great high school experience. When I got into college, met my wife, pursued her pretty aggressively. I got another video about that. Feel free to check it out. But it took me some embarrassing lessons to learn that if you like somebody, tell them. Find not a weirdo way, but some way to let people know that you like them. And you can avoid situations like this forever.